A year after Freddie Gray was killed at the hands of Baltimore police, his life and the upheaval caused by his death continues to be felt across Baltimore. The national spotlight focused on Baltimore's apartheid-like inequity, a justice system that is often stacked against the city's black majority, and a police force many feels operates with impunity. A year later, the city's youth question if anything has changed.
They've been heard through media, but I feel like nobody's really taking the steps needed for a change.
Even though 6 officers were charged with Gray's death last May, not a single verdict has been returned in the case, leading many to question if justice will ever be served. That's why Tim Freese's 10th grade Law and Community Justice class at Baltimore's Reginald F. Lewis High School decided to get a measure of justice in their own hands.
Rise. The court of Reginald F. Lewis is now in session.
They put on a mock trial for Officer Caesar Goodson, who drove the wagon where prosecutors allege Gray suffered his fatal injury. He faces 4 charges, including second-degree depraved-hearted murder. The students prepared for months, going through hundreds of pages of legal briefs, medical examiners' reports, and then took the trial to the makeshift courtroom in their school. With the judge presiding, both prosecution and defense gave opening statements, swore in witnesses, and cross-examined them on the stand. They even had a recreation of the police wagon that Freddie Gray was placed after he was arrested to test defense arguments that Gray injured himself.
The vet now. Could you try to get up, sir? Sir. You can't get up.
15 minutes after closing arguments, the jury, made up of University of Maryland law students, school seniors, and a psychologist, returned to the courtroom and delivered this verdict.
We find the defendant guilty of involuntary manslaughter.
The judge sentenced the defendant.
I hereby sentence you to 10 years. Please take the defendant into custody. The court is adjourned. I went to jail.
I say no man for 30 years.
We spoke to some of the students involved.
It was sad to hear that you're just sitting on a street corner and you're chased and you're thrown into a back of a van. And then you're not alive anymore. Being here in the jury, it's made me learn facts about the case, but overall, I still feel that what happened was uncalled for. And it's sad that if certain stops wouldn't have happened and occurred, he would still be here when it should have never occurred in the first place. And like he said, it is not fair. It's taken too long, and the system is not fair. It's not right. I feel like change is just equality. It's just that you being treated and me being treated, we should be treated equal.
At first, my opinion was that I really thought it was purely the police officer's fault. I learned so much from this because I just saw it on the news here and there. I didn't investigate it, but now that I know what's going on, I feel like I understand it. Is that good? Yeah.
And so talk about how the media covered it was different than what you learned actually doing research and going through the legal documents.
Well, the way the media covered it, they wrapped it up into a nice bow tie and tried to present it in a kind of sheltered way. And what I learned were all the facts, the autopsy. I had a pile of papers on procedures and I saw the videos that were taken by people and all that. Yeah.
What do you hope finally comes out of this whole whole incident?
I hope that that people acknowledge that, like, because some people like to ignore the fact that there is like institutionalized racism and prejudice against like people, like black people. Like we're especially targeted just because of the color of our skin. Like they'll approach us more than other people. It's not like we get convicted of crimes like at the rate that we do because they approach, like, other people are doing the crimes at just the same amount, but we're being approached more just because of our color. Like, and one person's actions don't account for the entire race. Like, there's people trying to do good. We're all people. We're all in this together. So.
And so talk about some of the things that you would like to see change.
Citizen and police communication. I would love to see that change. I would love to see just, you see a police officer, you're like, hey, good morning, how's your day going? Instead of walking past like, oh, I hope they don't say anything to me, or, oh, I hope they don't think I'm doing anything wrong. You should be able to you should not see them as, oh, a big bad police officer. You should see them as another citizen. They should just be another person. That's how I feel.
So you're talking about there's tensions between communities and police.
I believe that should change.
Where do you think that comes from?
I believe that all the past incidents building up and leading up to this point have just put a label on police officers and citizens, put a label on our friendship and relationship with police officers. Is just a big fat label on it because of past incidents.
It's something that can be changed.
Yes, it really could be changed, but sadly it's not. Seems like it's not going to. And that's what's wrong. It needs to change, and it seems like it's not going to.
And how do you feel about the results of the jury?
I felt that I really got to sit down and communicate with the jury, and we really got to share our viewpoints and our opinions based off the case, and that the case was like just really great, and it gave me more information. Instead of saying, oh, guilty, 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 I actually got to think and conjure up thoughts based on the case.
We've invited Mr. Freeze's entire 10th grade class into the Real News studio next week to continue this conversation. Send your questions and comments for the students to jessel@therealnews.com.